Alright, hello and welcome to another Skull and Bones video today. Today I'm going to be explaining to you guys everything that's in the Helm Empire and how to get it. So just a quick tip for you guys to unlock the Helm Empire. So you guys aren't going to see this tab unless you've progressed into the storyline. You have to You have to get to Yanita and start her quest line, and then once you go through her quest line, you'll start unlocking certain things inside the Helm Empire, and then eventually you will unlock the Helm Empire itself, and you're going to be able to get all the manufactories to generate you pieces of A, upgrade parts, etc. So a quick little tip here, in the bottom right of my screen, you can actually hold C, and it's going to take you into the Smugglers Hideout. So first thing you unlock with this quest line is the distillery. So there's two places, St. Anne's and Talak Pinjara. And with the distilleries, you can make the rums, and at the Smuggler's Hideout at Talak Pinjara, you can make the snuff. So very good if you ever want to trade with the kingpins and get their items, their blueprints, etc. Here you have the supply network. You can do the supply runs, etc. Getting the coca leaves, or sorry, tobacco leaves, doing the sugar canes, or you can do the attacks. I believe to actually get the next part. So the first part of the quest line is you have to do um, the trade route, so you have to deliver the sugarcane. And then the second one you get is actually the attack. And then once you complete an attack, Unita will give you the main table over here, which is the actual Helm Empire. And that's what all this is. I know it's very confusing, so I'm going to try to do my best to explain to you guys what everything means. So first of all, when you actually unlock the Empire, I would say the best thing to do is get all your factories first. So the best way to do that, there's a couple ways that you could get your factories. First of all, you can do these manufacturing buyouts, which if you join it, it's going to teleport you next to this dock, and it's going to have an item that this dealer is wanting you to bring to him. And if you do that, you actually earn a factory if you haven't already earned it. So right now, I've already owned this factory, this manufactory. So instead of giving me the manufactory, it's actually just going to give me pieces of 8 and 2 chests. And then there's different ones that you can do. You could do the hostile takeovers, which are the green ones. If you do those, it's very simple. It teleports you to the manufacturing place, and you're just going to complete that within 5 minutes, and then you're going to get the factory. And then there's red ones as well, which those ones are going to be PvP. So it's the same thing as the green ones. You just teleport to it, you start the event, but it's PvP. So you'll have to fight with other players. Most of the time, not everybody joins it, but you can get some games where people will join in on it. Okay, so next thing, or I guess first things, you want to try to get as many factories as you can. Okay? And then I wouldn't bother upgrading your factories. So once you own a factory, you can actually click on it. And I'm going to show you a couple different tabs here. So this, you're going to be granted with the first tab, and you can choose what you want your manufacturing to create. So for example, right now I have this factory making white skull gen, which is going to be generating me 3.91 pieces of 8 per hour. Now, eventually I'm going to collect this, and then I'm going to switch it to white skull because it's going to grant me more. But if you head over to this tab, this is where you can spend your pieces of 8 to actually upgrade your manufacturing. Now, I wouldn't recommend upgrading any of your factories because I'll explain that a little bit later. But at minimum, what I would do would be spend 1,000 pieces of 8 just to get it to level 2. Because when you get it to level 2, you can start assigning ships to these manufactories. So, for example, let me go to one that's kind of full. So this level 2 factory is getting full. So here, right now, this factory has created 525 white skull gens, or white skull rums. So here I can assign a ship to go grab those white skull gens, and whenever those are done collecting, or done doing the transportation, I'll actually get those pieces of 8. Or you can manually go sail to that manufactory and collect it yourself, which I don't recommend. That's kind of boring. So when it comes to assigning a ship to these factories, you can see if I hover over one of these, it's going to give me a risk, a low, medium, high, or extreme. Doesn't really mean anything. It just means sometimes it can fail if you do a higher risk. But if you upgrade some little ships, put some simple stuff on it, you could actually send it to these places and not fail. So right here, I have a level 7 Pataquane, and it tells me right here my ship capacity. I can hold 240 White Skull rums. So if I assign it, so if I click on it and assign it, it's going to start going to collect that. So it was only able to carry 240, so it's only going to bring back 240 when that's complete. So what you want to do is just, you can technically keep them docked here, and then whenever it's full or the capacity full, it'll automatically start transferring stuff. But the best way to do it is just once you see one that's starting to get full, you can just assign a ship to it. I just click through, see which one will actually work. But as you can see, it tells you how much. So I think the ship that assigned to it right now, once this reaches 420 capacity, it'll start delivering it. Okay, so this is where things get confusing. This is where a lot of people don't understand, but I'm going to try to explain this the best I can. So you can actually use your pieces of 8 to upgrade this tree. I know it looks like a lot, but it's very simple. So let's get down to it. So I would recommend in the very beginning to start upgrading down here the Helm Empire, because these are like your passive upgrades. These aren't area specific. So for example, what I mean by that is you have the Sea People, you have the Clan of Farah, you have the Compagnie Royal, and then you have the Helm. So the Helm, this section is all for your distilleries. So for Saint Anne and Talak Panjara when you're making rum and making snuff. So if you're into that, you can spend your points here and upgrade stuff like production rate, um, other things like if you get a kill, you can get 25% chance of getting helm materials. Um, so if that's mainly for like distillery type stuff. And then these things, Sea People, Clan of Farah, that's actually like these areas. So, like I think, yeah, like this one's Sea People down here, I think is Companion Royal. So all this stuff will be upgraded with those trees. So I would start with at least Helm Empire, because if you get these ones, these actually increases the amount of max factories you can have. So this one increases by 8. Um, this one is very big. If you already own a manufactory and a empire opportunity appears, so those hostile takeovers or even a manufactory buyout, if you do those and you have this upgrade, it will upgrade that factory for free from level 1 to 2, from level 2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5, etc., which 5 is the max level. So that's why I recommend spending the 1,000 pieces to get your factory to level 2, so you can at least assign a ship to it, and then from then on, I wouldn't bother upgrading it. Just do the takeovers on the factories you already own, and it'll upgrade it for free. Because when you upgrade factories, you actually get more production rate, and it holds more capacity, and it doesn't cost as much. If we come back here, you have your trade routes. I'll explain that in just a second, all your trade routes. Here's two more factories. So factory upgrades, you can get 16 factories if you do these two. And then here's another 8 factories. Um, this one's very good too if you're lazy like I am. If you upgrade this one, the transportation time whenever you assign a ship to a factory to collect your pieces of 8 will be a lot shorter. And then this one doesn't really matter because you never actually lose your factories. That's not actually in the game, so I wouldn't worry about that one. But these global production rates are pretty good too. That'll up anything that you create. Down here you have another 8 factories that you can own for each line, and then I think the max you can own is 72 or something like that. Um, but another thing, when you come off to these little side tabs, so for all the factories that are for a sea of people, this one, this upgrade allows you actually to go to level 5. So really, you can only get level 4 unless you have this upgrade for each tier, which I didn't mean. And then if you come off to each line, you can actually own 3 more factories. So if you've completed all of these upgrades for the more factories and you see that there are still, some missing that you haven't collected, these white ones, and you're maxed out, then you're going to need to come over here and actually get these upgrades. So there's 3 per clan, I guess. So you got 3 here for sea people. You'll get the 3 extra factories in sea people. And then up here is Clan of Farah. You have another one, so you can own another 3. So again, just try to get these upgrades first so you can get as many factories as you can. Um, very good. A lot of pieces of 8. For the Empire tree, I guess. Obviously, there's a lot more that you could upgrade. You can take whatever path you want. Eventually, you can upgrade your factories to allow you to create like upgrade parts, ascension modules, but that costs a lot of pieces of 8. So it takes a long time to get there. And then you can also upgrade your production for certain items if you wanted to. But mainly, I would just have it creating or generating pieces of 8. So that's pretty much it for the Helm Empire tree, I guess. Just, again, try to get many factories as you can. Get this upgrade so you can start leveling them up. And then, I guess one more thing I will explain. When you're on this screen, so you have to fund your factories with silver, okay? So there's 3 sections of the map. So you have up here. So as you can see, it says fund production. It's going to cost me 2,000 silver to fund 16 factories. So if I fund it, all of these factories that are green over here will automatically be funded when I hold F to fund everything. And then you have this section over here. Go ahead and fund it. That's all of these factories. And then you have the third section over here. That'll fund all of these factories. So that way you don't have to manually go and fund each one. It's just a simple 3, log in every day if you want to, and just fund it. So another thing with this, so as you can see, you can get territory bonuses if you own like a certain amount of factories in an area. So these lines, basically, I got this manufactory, and I was able to start doing trade routes. So with trade routes, again, it's just more of a bonus. So I think if you hover over it, it actually tells you I get everything that is going into this route, I guess, right here, is getting a 9% increase in pieces of 8. And then here's a good example for what I'm talking. For the hostile takeover, it'll actually tell you what factory it'll give you, but if you already own it, it'll just give you bonus rewards and upgrading it as you do it. And then these red ones are the PvPs, these green ones are just you. And then you do have blue ones, which are group events. I think you can get at least 4 or 5 people. You basically just start it. You go kill a ship. You take the treasure, and you go take it back to like Talak Pinjara or Saint Anne, and then everybody in that group will get that factory. Um, so those are very good too if you want to play with friends and get factories. Um, but again, trying to unlock a lot of factories in the same area is very good because you get the trade route bonuses. Um, Also, some of these bonuses or factories give you different bonuses. If I can find it, or sorry, yeah, territorial effects. So that's what I meant to do. So when you hover over these white lined areas, you actually get a territory effect, and that's what these are, these territories. And when you own everything in this territory, for example, this one, you actually get the auto collection effect, which is a very good one. You don't have to do anything. It'll just automatically collect for you. This bottom area will give you a bonus 100 silver per hour. That's decent, not really that good. This one gives you just reduces the funding cost, bonus silver again, bonus silver again, bonus silver, funding costs. But that's pretty much it for the territories. Already went over trade routes. And then you have your assigned ships, your max amount of assigned ships you can have. That pretty much gets upgraded, or you get more and more the more factories you own. Um, and that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video and were able to retain some of this information. I know I probably skipped over a couple things and I'm kind of all over the place, but I'm just now starting out doing videos, so hopefully you guys like this one. And just let me know in the comments what you guys think. And happy hunting.